Yo guys, it's Haunting Lime and I'm back again with another video, and these are my final battles from the Retro Cup. So I thought I'd bring another team that's pretty good. I tried finding the right team for this, but today I'm featuring the Golem brothers. But before I get started, I want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. We are actually about 52 subscribers away from 400, which is my target for the end of the month. So guys, please like the video, share the video if you actually like the content, and let's get to that sub count. But guys, again, thank you for all your support. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you, and your support actually encourages me to produce more quality content for you guys. And guys, let's get on with the actual battles, because you're not here to see my pretty face, you're here to see how good I am at actually showcasing a team. So let's get on with the battles. Yo guys, I'm back again and featuring the Golem brothers, like I said. So today we're featuring Alolan Graveler, which is pretty amazing, and Alolan Golem. So I tried getting these two to pair up really well, because most of the so-called fun copes, they actually are pretty solid because of the rock typing, and they have really good movesets as well as really good fast moves. And I tried pairing it with Hypno, didn't really work out because I was getting met with a lot of lick users. So I tried Medhicham, because Medhicham covers obviously the normal types quite well, and also does fairly well against pretty much the rest of the meta. So obviously Golem and Alolan Graveler can actually cover the ice types, which is Frostlass pretty much, and it hits everything else pretty hard too, which you're going to see. Like, nobody respects the damage from Stone Edge from a Golem or a Graveler. When I say Golem and Graveler, I mean the Alolan forms. But yeah, having Wild Charge as the so-called nuke move on Alolan Golem really helps out a lot, because you can actually take out big Pokemon with it as well. So you don't need the extra double like rock coverage that Alolan Graveler has. So I'll commentate on the actual battle. So obviously, seeing a Bibarel, which is pretty decent because obviously Medhicham has a good matchup against it as well. It's a really spicy pick against the current meta, all the ghost types flying about. And so here I switch out obviously because I kind of anticipated a Frostlass, because most teams have a Frostlass. I wanted to kind of get that little bit of energy advantage, and my opponent obviously did the same thing as well. He switched out, so obviously I've got my Golem in the back for a backup just in case I need him. And here I'm going to shield because I want to do some more counter damage. I want to obviously threaten the last shield, and I'm just trying to chip away here. I'm not really trying to, well, I'm just trying to take it out as fast as I can. And obviously my opponent realizes he's already really weak. He concedes the game. So off to a really good start with this team. So this team is super fun to use. It has obviously a double weakness to fighting in the back, because rock is pretty shit against it. But against a Frostlass lead, this is pretty awesome. I go straight into my Graveler, because Graveler with Volt Switch gains energy really quickly, and both his moves have to be shielded. Also, Rock Blast won't take anything out, but Stone Edge is so heavy hitting. You're going to see that it actually warrants shields, and that's not like I actually did well to shield there, because I can generate energy so quickly. And this most likely will be a Body Slam, which I'm not too afraid of. Alolan Graveler can tank things pretty well. It's not scared of dragons or any normal types, and this Stone Edge going through this tremendous amount of damage, like a surprising amount of damage. It almost takes it out. Sadly, I was licked down. So my opponent actually did that really well, because obviously he didn't want to get farmed down by the Medhicham. But I bring in my Golem because I want to get hidden energy, and my opponent actually has a double normal team, so Medhicham would have been really solid here, and he goes for the close combat, which is totally fine. I had to shield that because Night Slash would have done a fair amount of damage, but because he's gone for close combat, this Rock Blast is going to be enough to KO. It can only survive a Rock Blast, but obviously Volt switches do so much damage. I'm able to obviously, and it generates energy so fast. I've got another Rock Blast ready, and the thing is, Frostlass has to shield. The reason why I'm bringing out my Medhicham here is because I want to absorb all the damage, and because this is an XL Medicham, it's like a rank 3 or something, this Shadow Ball won't take me out. And because I should be able to get to a Psychic as well, the extra XL actually makes a big difference. This Psychic should do a lot of damage and take out the Frostlass. So pretty comfortable win for the Medhicham. So Medhicham, Frostlass counter confirmed. Frostlass is an amazing Pokemon. I've loved it ever since some of the recent cups, and I've got a really good team for the Great League, which I'm going to showcase hopefully tomorrow, because obviously Great League is back, Ultra League is back from tonight onwards, and I want to showcase 3 solid teams for each league to get you to Legend before the final week ends of rating, and Legends this season basically is over. So off again to a really solid entry. Alolan Graveler, again, like I said, is such a great, unique Pokemon, because it has really amazing fast moves and charge moves. Rock Blast, it does a lot of damage for a really slow energy cost move, and here I'm expecting a power whip, so I shield. I'm trying to obviously gain a lot more damage, but here obviously power whip's going to take me out. Body slam wouldn't have been enough, which is totally fine because now I'm able to basically farm down this Lickitung with my Alolan Golem. So this is what I tend to do. I tend to weaken a lot of Pokemon and then come in with my Alolan Golem and get ahead on energy by a lot. And if you have energy on Alolan Golem, because you have the Wild Charge hits everything super hard. And obviously everyone already respects Wild Charge, so look how much damage that does. And I can obviously switch out into my Medhicham. Because my opponent obviously has a Hypno, this isn't the best matchup, but because counters are obviously quicker or has a faster animation than Confusion, I'm able to chip away using Ice Punch. My opponent can shield if he wants to. Psychic obviously wouldn't be great here because it's actually resisted, so it's not the best move to go for. It's not energy efficient, and obviously Ice Punches are doing what they need to do. And this is actually a CMP tie, which is perfect. I'm happy to let my Medhicham go down. Shadow Ball takes me out, totally fine, because now I can just come in and basically farm this Hypno down and commit the shield, because I will basically beat the his next Pokemon to a charge move. I've got 2 Rock Blasts ready, and Licky doesn't have anything because it switched out and didn't have enough energy to actually get to the Body Slam. This first Rock Blast is going to get shielded, and one more Volt Switch gets me to the Wild Charge. So maybe if I went for Rock Blast there again, I might not have been able to take it out, but the Wild Charge is there basically to kind of be the end game finisher, and Alolan Golem taking out the Licky. So yeah, this team was a hell of a lot of fun to use. I highly recommend it. Obviously this is the last day, so you might not get a chance to use this, but Alolan Golem and Alolan Graveler are really good for pretty much all the fun cups, if they are allowed. My opponent obviously switches that into a Raichu, so I'm like thinking, what moves does it have? It's probably going to be a Volt Shot or a Brick Break. I'm going to shield the first one because I know I won't basically get KO'd by anything from the Alolan Raichu, so I am going to basically chip away this Alolan Raichu as much as possible and try and maintain Switch. And it's actually not really bulky at all. Look at the counter damage, it's doing so much. And here I will commit the shield because I think the Wild Charge would have been enough to take me out, and having that extra energy on Medhicham is going to be crucial, and winning Switch is obviously always great as well. So here I really should have switched out straight away into my Alolan Graveler, but I wanted to get the shield from Psychic, which I am able to get, and now I can switch in. And I know my opponent obviously going to come back in with his Zangoose, which is totally fine. I'm going to go straight for the Stone Edge. This is a nice slash, it won't take me out. If it's a close combat, yeah, it totally will. So I go straight for the heavy hitting Stone Edge because either I get the last shield or I take out the Zangoose and I have a lot of health left, which I can actually threaten another shield by the Rock Blast. So I get to the Rock Blast before my opponent gets to Avalanche. Obviously Avalanche is a really hard hitting move, but this Rock Blast obviously will warrant a shield. My opponent is going to try and commit to the full farm down. Wasn't actually able to get to the next Rock Blast because obviously Powder Snow does a fair amount of damage since it got its buff. So I'm bringing in Medhicham to absorb anything this Pokemon has. It actually goes for an Avalanche, which is totally fine. Because I have a shield, I'm happily able to go for this Golem and try and get to the Rock Blast, because that will be more than enough to take it out. And my opponent really should have probably farmed a little bit extra, but he obviously couldn't do that because Medhicham would have started to chip away quite a lot with the counters. And thankfully, I'm able to get this Rock Blast to take out this Frost Blast. So these rock types basically are pretty dominating because a lot of teams aren't actually covering rock types in their so-called agenda. A lot of teams are built around countering Frost Blast and Ghost types, which, you know, is pretty much everywhere and rampant in the game at the moment. And, you know, again, Hypno lead, go straight into the Graveler, because Graveler, like I said, is quick at generating energy, and if this Hypno has double punch or Shadow Ball and a punch, Shadow Ball won't be enough to take me out, and also a punch won't be enough to take me out. I always go for the Stone Edge because Stone Edge hits pretty hard, and my opponent actually switched into Vigoroth, so because he can't counter me down quickly, I'm able to get to another Stone Edge, and most likely any of my opponent would take it because obviously I've got a Medhicham. He doesn't want to leave it healthy enough where I can actually farm it down completely, and Vigoroth itself can be really spammy, but he wasn't able to get too much farm and one counter away from taking it out. I'll take the Body Slam, I'll take the Bulldoze even. XL Medicham is super bulky, like I'm not afraid of anything, and Medicham's able to get a little bit of energy, but obviously not in a great position because Hypno can come in now and try and go for the Shadow Ball, which most likely it will do. Most of the Hypnos I've seen recently have been running Shadow Ball, so I will shield this. If it's a punch, fair enough. I've got quite a lot of health, and so now I'd obviously aggressively switch into my Alolan Golem because my opponent obviously went for the harder hitting move. He won't be able to get to anything apart from a punch, and I can just farm it down completely. My opponent actually has a Galvantula in the back, so this is going to be a little bit dicey because it can generate energy pretty fast, and I have to go for the Rock Blast. Thankfully, I was able to get ahead on energy, and I'm able to go for back-to-back Rock Blasts here. And Rock Blast obviously will get both shields, and here obviously it's a race to the next Rock Blast. My opponent obviously goes for a charge move here. He does it perfectly. He does it in between animation. So here I decide to let it go because I know I can basically shield once, or I can get the psychic before my opponent does. If I had shielded there, I probably would have been locked into over tapping, and that would have been able, and my opponent might would have been able to get to potentially another lunge before, well, he probably wouldn't have gone to the lunge, but it would have left me in a more vulnerable position where Hypno could have farmed me down. So I saved the shield, able to go 5-0 in the first set. So this team performed really, really well, you know, pretty much all positives. I had one bad set where I just met counters for days, but you know, it happens. But overall, the team, you know, performed really well. I highly enjoyed it. Like I said, I did try Hypno in the lead, but I found Medhicham to be the perfect solid third addition to the double rock type in the back. So my opponent obviously brings in his own Medhicham for my Medhicham, and this is all about the XL. So mine's obviously ranked 3. It's gonna pretty much be one of the top tier Medhichams around. So you know, I'm not worried about it. And my opponent actually went for the bait, which wasn't great. Did he go for the bait? Anyways, doesn't matter. So my opponent obviously, I do shield the psychic, which is totally fine. Winning switch is great because I don't want the Medhicham to survive and actually have a chance to threaten my backline. My backline is super weak to fighting, like incredibly weak. So I don't need any type of fighters in the back to kind of mess up my day. And I have seen him a champ once in a while. So yeah, it's not fun. So you have to shield. You have to respect the damage your opponent can throw at you. So I bring in my Alolan Graveler here, because most Mews are running Dragon Claw and not Surf. So, you know, I let the first one go through. Surf would have done quite a lot more damage. This is just a body slam. I'm gonna let it go through. Oh, my mistake. It's actually a power whip. So that was my mistake there, but it's totally fine. I was happy to let it go down because I know I can get to the psychic before my opponent actually gets to another move. And Lickitung obviously is gonna do super effect damage with the licks, but psychic goes through and it takes out the Lickitung. So, you know, all these Lick users here to counter the psychics. Medhicham is here to say hello. Medhicham is here to basically mess up your day. And now, because I know my opponent only has Dragon Claw and probably a Wild Charge, Alolan Golem is like the perfect counter for it, or perfect answer for it. Here, I do expect the Wild Charge because Wild Charge will take me out. It's just a Dragon Claw. I will shield this, but I'm building up to 2 Rock Blasts because Mew is you know, fairly bulky, but not the bulkiest Pokemon. Obviously, is that the range where, you know, a Rock Blast will be enough to KO. I wasn't sure if it would be, but I forget Alolan Graveler and Alolan Golem actually have a really high attack stat, so it makes them super attack weighted, and they hit pretty hard. And it's also nice having the extra attack because Volt Switches do more damage as well. So off to a pretty decent lead. Both my backline aren't great against obviously Venusaur. Frenzy Plant is going to do a lot of damage. But this is what I'm saying, people don't respect the damage from Stone Edge. So I shield the first Frenzy Plant because I know my opponent most likely will go for the will most likely go for it as soon as possible, and I will get KO'd. So because I've shielded, psychologically I know my opponent will most likely shield as well. He shields a Rock Blast, and because I'm so quick at generating energy, I'm able to get to the Stone Edge, and if he doesn't shield this, he's gonna get KO'd. And wow, look at that damage from Graveler, like pretty much stunning my opponent into a place where he can't do much anyway. So here I'm going for the Rock Blast because I wouldn't actually been able to get to the Stone Edge, and I'm also doing super damage with the Volt Switches. My opponent actually farmed on quite a lot, and I think he was scared of the Stone Edge, so he threw the Weather Ball, which was a CMP type. Perfect. So my opponent actually has a Frost Blast in the back, so this isn't great, but I know that if I get to this Psychic, I'm going to force a shield from my opponent, which I need because shields down, Alolan Golem can actually do so well. And, you know, I know my opponent actually farmed a hell of a lot there. So this is probably going to be one of those games where I might get taken out. But I'm probably going straight for the Shadow Ball. I'm at that range where it will take me out. And because I'm obviously, I've got a shield advantage, my opponent is trying to get to as much... He's trying to do as much more farming as possible, and here thankfully he threw at the right timing as well, so maybe he was just a few powder stones off to getting to the Avalanche. I don't think it would have taken me out, but it probably would have taken me out actually, because Alolan Golem isn't the tankiest Pokemon, but I'm able to get the Rock Blast. He threw perfectly, so I didn't over tap, so I wasn't able to actually get to my Rock Blast as soon as I got to it, but thankfully, you know, a little bit of energy lead, I'm able to throw a second Rock Blast to take out this Politoed, which I wasn't sure again would take it out because, you know, Politoed is fairly bulky, and thankfully again, Alolan Golem proving me wrong. You know, it's got a super high attack stat, so it does really well. Again, awesome lead. You know, Altaria has pretty shit play against you know, both the rock types, and my opponent counters me with a Medhicham. So this isn't great, but look how much damage the Stone Edge is going to start doing, and the Volt Switches actually do so much chip damage. I'm able to get to a second charge move, which is, I'm just going to throw the Rock Blast. I won't be able to get to a Stone Edge, but I get this Medhicham in a range where I can actually farm, well, not farm down, but he's basically in the red. Medhicham is in the red from Alolan Golem, Alolan Graveler. I didn't think that would be possible. You know, I thought I'd get counted down pretty heavily. My opponent most likely has 2 moves ready. First one's an Ice Punch bait to get the shield. Didn't shield there. Again, I'm not really going to shield this because I want to save my shields for my Golem. Goes for a Psychic. Because I'm XL, I knew I can tank that pretty comfortably. Both have 2 shields. So this is going to be one of those situations where, you know, we need to play correctly, and I was able to get quite a lot of farm, so this Ice Punch is ready to do quite a lot of damage against this Altaria, and now switch into my Alolan Golem, get a little bit ahead on energy, and my opponent brings out a Munchlax. So Munchlax, from what I know, is pretty bulky, so I have to threaten it with the Wild Chargers. Rock Blast will do damage, but it won't be enough to KO. So I'm doing a lot of farming, and I think I get to the maximum amount of energy here. So maybe I overtap just a little bit on energy, but it's fine. Things happen. Mistakes always happen. Go for the first Rock Blast, get the shield, and if I obviously played that correctly, I would have had more energy. But I go for the second Rock Blast because my opponent is going to try to respect the Wild Charge. He doesn't actually shield, but at this range, my opponent barely gets a few legs off, and I'm able to just spam out these Rock Blasts really, really quickly and threaten the shields. And now I go straight into my Medhicham because I want this Medhicham to be taken out. I want the Munchlax to throw all its energy at my Medhicham because my win condition is basically my Alolan Golem, and because I know Altaria has no shields to protect it, this Rock Blast will do a lot of damage, and Dragon Breath isn't going to be enough to take me out quickly. And because this Munchlax has energy, the shield came in super clutch, so I kind of played that perfectly even though I didn't try to. Thankfully that Altaria didn't have energy to throw at me in terms of a Sky Attack. Most likely would have survived, but it would have left me really, really low where I could have been licked down, so just about won that with the skin of my teeth. So off to a pretty decent lead. I'm not a big fan of Deoxys versus Medhicham because we're both just countering each other away, and Defense Deoxys is just so bulky, man. I absolutely hate the thing. I wish I had one, you know, all of us wish we had one, but Niantic is pretty, you know, adamant that it's not going to bring it out for a long time. So Niantic, please, you know, help us out here, please. My opponent goes for a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost, yeah, it's going to damage. It's not going to do too much damage though. Also, my opponent has to throw Psycho Boost because Rock Slide is basically resisted, and my opponent throwing Psycho Boost constantly actually is debuffing himself, so the next ones will do a lot less damage, and this is where, you know, I should just, most likely should just let my Medhicham go. I will survive this next Psycho Boost, and I switched out here thinking I could probably farm. My opponent actually, well, I didn't switch out here. I should have switched out there thinking I could farm, but my opponent actually goes straight for the quick switch into Kingdra, which takes me out because obviously Dragon Breath OP. My opponent goes for Octazooka. Thankfully, I don't get debuffed, so here I'm going for the Rock Blast bait because my opponent obviously is ahead on shields. I need to get the shields from my opponent, and I get the first one. And again, like I said, you know, I generate a bit of extra energy because I need the extra energy going up against, you know, his Pokemon. Able to take it out with the Rock Blast. Again, Rock Blast OP, man. Look at that damage from Rock Blast. Doing so much, which I wasn't expecting again. You know, and he brings out his Defense Deoxys. Because I had a bit of an energy lead, I was able to get to the next Rock Blast. This will take it out. Obviously, we are obviously at shield, one shield. Well, we're basically both at one shield. So my win condition here is shielding up the superpower, which most likely my opponent isn't going to go for. He's going to go for the Body Slam. So I really shouldn't have shielded that up. But I need to charge up to 2 Wild Chargers because basically Wild Charge is my win condition. The first one obviously will get the shield. I didn't want to throw the Rock Blast in case he didn't shield, and the second one will be enough to almost take it out, or take it out. I don't really know because it's not like it's tanky, but no, it's actually just enough to take it out. So have faith in your Pokemon, Faraz. Have faith in your Pokemon. Able to take it out and on to the next game. So again, this team was super fun to use. Really enjoyed using it on the last day, and finally managed to get a working edition of it. So here I misplayed heavily because I should have really switched into my Alolan Graveler straight away. I stayed in here, took quite a lot of damage from this Hypno. Confusions are doing neutral damage, but obviously they do chip away. So here I switch into a loaded Hypno, which isn't great. I am able to get the Rock Blast before my opponent gets to the Shadow Ball. I know I can tank a Shadow Ball from this range, so I'm happy to let it go through. But My mistake was just not going into my Alolan Graveler straight away, because that would have left me with basically a shield. Well, I wouldn't be a shield down, and I would have been able to have energy going into, well, I would have still had energy going into his Alolan Graveler as well. So because I also had to commit the shield to win switch, which I should have just ideally just let it go and come in with my Alolan Golem and just get her energy, I basically get a lot of damage off on this Alolan Graveler, but because I'm a shield down, it basically is going to cost me. And my opponent obviously goes straight for a switch into the Frostlass. I'm able to obviously respond to that with my Alolan Golem, and had it been an even 2 shields, this would have been a win for the Alolan Golem, because like I said, Rock Blast is so easy to get to, but it does quite a lot of damage, and I know my opponent's obviously going to throw the Avalanche. Avalanche is going to hurt quite a bit, and I'm able to get the Rock Blast. Maybe I should have just gone for the Wild Charge here, but I was trying to get my opponent's shield, because most likely I thought my opponent would shield here, and he did. And sadly, I am just able to get to the Rock Blast, but obviously I can't commit to throwing it because my opponent has his Avalanche ready, so this isn't great. And now, you know, I am close to the Psyche, but my opponent did really well at counting my fast moves and threw energy basically at the perfect time to get as much energy as possible. So here I have to throw energy because my opponent has is either going to take me out with Volt Switches, which isn't great. I couldn't farm it down because it was in that range, and here I'm able to get to an Ice Punch, and I thought maybe this would be enough, maybe, but sadly it's just not enough, because Ice Punch is obviously resisted, ice to ice, and I'm just like one counter away. So one HP in a dream. My opponent survives, but well played to him because I misplayed by not switching out straight away. So able to go 4-1 in this set, and yeah, it's been really fun to use this team. So guys, thank you for watching, and hopefully I can bring you some really good teams for the last week of Season 7 in terms of hitting Legend. And guys, thank you for watching again, and please like the video, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Take care.